I'm told that I need to introduce the Laurel Award, and it's given to that writer who has contributed to the literature of the screenplay and has made a lasting contribution to his art. So I think I let you know about that. In March of 1970, Senator Roman Haruska of Nebraska, speaking in favor of Supreme Court nominee Harold Carswell, made what was a rather unique plea. So what if Judge Carswell is mediocre, said the senator. There are a lot of mediocre judges and people and lawyers. They're entitled to a little representation too, aren't they? A year earlier, Elaine May at the 11th Annual Emmy Awards made a not dissimilar plea. Much has been said about excellence and will be said, but what about those not honored? What about them? Seriously, there are men in this industry who go about quietly and unassumedly producing garbage. As usual, Elaine's eloquent plea for mediocrity was ahead of its time, which is not all that unusual with Elaine, really. She's always been ahead of the rest of us. You could even say that there are times when the zeitgeist follows her. Richard Burton, in speaking of Elaine, said, "She was too formidable, one of the most intelligent, beautiful, and witty women I ever met. I hoped I would never see her again." Mike Nichols said of Elaine, "Her presence kept me going. My first impression of her was of a beautiful and dangerous girl that interested me enormously. When I was with her, I became something more than I had been before." I think Elaine has done something similar for all of us. Science has, whoops. They have just repeated themselves, and I'm going to try not to do that. So I will go here. Science has pretty clearly demonstrated that the capacity for language is an instinct. But there's a catch. If we're not exposed to language in the first 24 months of life, we may never learn to speak. I think comedy, too, is an instinct that needs to be taught, triggered, really. Elaine has done that. She has taught us to recognize the humor in ourselves and to laugh at it. It's not too much to say that since Elaine and Mike, comedy has never been the same. From Lily Tomlin to Tig Notaro, from Steve Martin and Seinfeld to Louis C.K., the whole world of contemporary comedy owes an enormous debt to Elaine. Elaine, as Mike has said, is a dangerous and beautiful girl, but she's also kind. In fact, it's not too much to say Elaine has made an art of killing with kindness. So it gives me great pleasure to give her this award. What was that? Oh, the videotape. Well, we're waiting for it. Sorry. I'm very pleased and privileged to present this 2016 Laurel Award to Elaine. Elaine?
Thank you. This is very nice of you. I don't know what I can do after that documentary of me. I'm going to let you down in some way, but I'm totally unprepared. When Bob Towne told me that I was going to receive an award, I was alarmed, and he said, "It's just a writer's award." And I thought it was just for me. I thought it would be an evening in a restaurant, a big restaurant. There would be a lot of writers there dressed in brown, and they would all be complaining bitterly to each other about everything. And then somebody would say, "Elaine is at the end of the bar. Give her award." And then, this is embarrassing. Then very recently I found out that it's a real award show. Actual writers who have written last year are going to receive awards. And there was going to be a red carpet for writers. Excuse me. I mean, no designer is going to give a writer clothes. And I thought, what will they talk about? And somebody showed me last year's red carpet. And the question they asked all the writers was, do you think makeup and costumes are important in a movie? And all of the writers said, yes, very, yes, whatever they said. Of course important, because then they babbled on. But I think that for writers who are really different from any other guild, the Writers Guild, because nobody's heard of us. No, the blurbs that on television that tell about movies tell the title of a movie, the cast of a movie, the plot of a movie, the director of the movie, the date of the movie, never a mention of the writer. So I think that on the red carpet, probably one of the questions that would be exciting to ask is too late now, but if a gun were put to your head, which Republican candidate would you vote for? So, writers, actually, they're so lively tonight, who knows what they've drunk or been on, but writers really work alone, they suffer. I mean, very few loved ones loan writers to their work without, a little penalty. So, and writers don't have a crew, they don't have an AD, they don't have a script. They're just on their own. And I feel really that they deserve sort of a darker evening, more intense. I want to finish it. It's late, so I'm just going to tell you one really true story. Stanley Donen, director, knew Frank Capra. Thank you for him. He knew Frank Capra when he was a young man, and Capra was the most touted director in Hollywood. I mean, he was known for the Capra touch. He was celebrated. Mr. Dees goes to town, Mr. Smith goes to Washington. It's a Wonderful Life. They all won awards. He was beloved. And Capra's writer one day sent him 120 blank pages with a note that said, "Here, put the Capra touch on this." And so, for that writer and for all writers, thank you very much for this.